Welcome everybody to episode 1 of Blender Chat. I'm your host, Miracle X, and today I'm going to teach you guys one simple tutorial that I've learned from the way beginning when I got into Blender. As a matter of fact, it's how to make a gift box. So what I'm using right now is Blender 2.79, and I'm using this cube, and I'm going to show you how to turn this cube to a simple gift. So let's follow along. So what I'm going to do is now click here, scroll, and let's see. Annotation. I guess I don't have anything to show you, but it's alright. Anyway, I'll show you the ways. Alright, so first, you have to select with the mouse the cube, but it will automatically come selected once you get it. So what I do is, I select the Z-axis, which is the blue arrow, and that's on the cube. See? Next, I scroll down here, where you can see where it says object mode, and I scroll up where it says edit mode. I see everything that's being selected. Alright. Next, I deselect everything by pressing the A on the keyboard. Good. Alright. And I'm able to scroll in and scroll out with the mouse wheel. I can be able to hold down the mouse wheel and spin the object around. As you can see all the edges. Now, what I need to do is I need to switch from the vertex, which is these little dots. You can be able to move around if you hold G. See? And then right click, it goes back to where it was. Press A, deselect everything. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make the lid and also separate. So in order to do that, I have to make a loop cut. So I go towards this menu on this side, and scroll down where it says loop cut, click on, and you see this pinkish purple line. So what I do is click on that, scroll up, you see on this side of the edge, and then I want it to be the box to be this half, and then what you need to do is press A to deselect it, and you have all that. See, nice. Now that we have that, I can move to separate it, but for right now, I will show you the rest. So I am going to make the ribbon part, which is the line to cover it before you put the bow. So what I do is I go back again, click on loop cut, and what I do is that since it's been selected, if you want to see the entirety, I just right click so you don't see that. Then I go down here and I select this box right here. You see that's a visible box. Click on that. You can see right through the material. I go back, edge loop, and you see what happens. So you see. So what I do is I scroll up. I get to right there. Then I click again on the left mouse button. Then I press the right button. Let go of that. As you can see. Now, if you want to go back, just remember Control Z, and you go back to where you selected. You can be able to undo anything with just pressing that as well. So, if I go back again, Control Z, I can be able to take it away. Go back, edge cut, and click there. I can make one line. See? Alright, let's do it again. Scroll, make the line first, scroll, click on, and you can leave it right there. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So what I do is I click the S and I press the X for the X axis. And then I put it a little bit closer together. There we go. Now I scroll by holding the mouse and moving the mouse along, which is holding the mouse scroll. There we go. And then press A. There we go. Then we do the same thing on the other side. Place one, scroll, place it where you want it to be. So put it there. Right click. See, then you press S. This is different. I don't have to press the S and X anymore. So I'm doing the Y, which is the green. So I press S, then Y, then scroll a little bit. There we go. Nice, huh? Alright, now I'm going to do something different. So since I have those selected, I'm going to select these. And what I do is I go back down here, hide the inside stuff. Then I go down right next to it, I click on faces, which is his face. These are the edges, which is the lines, and vertex is the little dots. So I click on faces. And to make it much easier, since the other side has been selected, I go towards this edge line in between, select everything. So to do that, just hold Shift, Alt, right click between the line, and you select everything. You see? Nicely done. Good. So, next, I'm going to extrude it. In order to extrude it, just press the letter E, and you can see, you can go wherever you want. But first, just press the right click on the mouse, alright, and it's already been extruded. All you have to do is press S and then move it up a little bit. You can see? I selected all these things. Nice, huh? Good. And what I need to do, let me check this out before anything else, is select smooth vertex. You see, this is what happens when you click on that. So, the good buddy, Control Z, will undo that, because these things were not selected. So, if you can't really see very well, just change the material part, which is set on solid, right here, and you can move it to materials. See? Now, I need to select these things in between. In order to do that, the same thing I said before, just Shift, Alt, which is hold on those two buttons, then right click, and you select those, as you can see, and there we go. Nice. There we go. We're good. You can also press extrude when you click right here as well, or individual did I have? I can teach you from here? No. Okay, good. Now, normally what I do is I always check to smooth the vertex and see what happens. And see what happens with that. So I'm gonna do that. Alright. The same thing as I do is I go open up the side, click on the wrench, which is the modifier button, click on add modifier, and then I click on subdivision surface, and you can see how this thing morph, but you can do a lot. If you select so much for doing the views in the render, it will cost a lot on your GPU and CPU. So, as you can see, I can make it all the way solid, and it's really nice, but that's not the way I want it to look. Change the render to be the same. It looks nice, but not the way I want it to be. So, this kind of way, if you're making a model of anything to smooth it out, you can use this modifier. As you can see, it goes back to that, and wrap it when you wrap it around. See, that looks really cool, huh? You make this as a, I don't know, gaming material for any games you're making. Nice. Alright. So, click the X. And I got to see here as select this. So, select that. Let's see, those things been selected, everything. Everything down here been selected. Okay. So, now, let's see again. Okay. Sure. Right. Now that you have these selected, you leave it as it is, and it's pretty intuitive. Nice, huh? Okay. Next is you press A to deselect those. And now, what I want to do is simply take the lid off. In order to do that, I go back down. Next to the buttons where it shows face, see the inside. You can see. Okay, good. Next, go back. And all I need to do is press Shift, Alt, and then right click, select those on top. You can see. Now, to select these all at once, I press the C, which is a circle select. Go right here and select those. Look at that. Select everything. Except those right there. Which, if you select those, it covers up everything neatly. Alright. Now, next, what I do is I press the space bar, click on search, and then type in separate. You don't have to complete it, already recognized. Then you go down where it says separate, and it says separate as selection. And there we go. Nice, huh? So what I need to do is press tab, go to object mode, and show those selections. Also, if you don't want to do that, you can just press the right here on the label. It'll change it to object mode, edit mode, you know, sculpting, there's paint, weight paint, texture paint, you know, that kind of stuff. But for right now, we're going to object mode. Next is I select the top lid right here, and you see the highlighted orange. Alright, and all I can do is I can able to lift it. Boom, look at that. Nice, huh? do I need to do? What do I need to do? Let's make it thicker. Alright guys, so what I do is I can go back down here and click on edit mode, and then I can suppress A, selects everything, as you can see. The next, we press E. Then right click to let go of that. Then afterwards, what we can do is we hold down the Alt button and press the S button. All right, we're able to let go. And this what it does is shrink and fatten. And all you can do is you can be able to move it up to make it fatter. You can move it back, it goes back to it was, or stretch it out. You can make whatever you want with that. But first, we're gonna make it this way. So, what we do is we make it a little bit thicker. There we go. And you see, it doesn't miss anything around outside, but the one we selected, it makes it better for the outside. You see? Now, what I can do is press A to deselect everything, and then again, go back down, or press Tab, and click on Object Mode. Now, click on the box down here, press Tab, Object Mode, and what I introduce is the same thing. Press A, select everything, E to extrude, take off the E to extrude by right clicking, then press and hold Alt and S. Once you do that, then what you do is move up and it thickens it. You can see that? Nice. Alright, now that we have that, then you press A to deselect, go back to object mode, and there we go. Then for the top part, this looks really cool. You can be able to stretch it, but just simply press S, and then scroll it up a little bit. And while that's being selected, you can hold on to the blue arrow with Z axis, or just press the letter Z, sorry, or just press G, the letter Z. G is to grab, Z is where Z axis goes up and down, then put it back down. As you can see, look at that, nice and fit. Then press S again, scale it down, there we go. Everything matches up really perfectly. See how nice that looks? Okay. Now, since we're here, just by the way, there's a section up here which I selected for the cycle render. By default, it'll go back to Blender render, but I like cycle render, and I'll show you why. So, before we have the ribbon, right, I need to teach you about the materials. So, we go back here, and we go towards this circle that's 2 steps next to the wrench, which is the modifier. This right here is we can be able to do the vertex groups, and there's a lot you can do right here, but for this tutorial, we're going to make a simple gift. So, next, we click on the circle, which is the materials, and we go down, press the preview so you can see what it looks like. Click right here, it says use node, and usually it comes as a default. You can see that. And I'm going to go click on default and go to principal. It's really awesome. It has so many things you can do with it. This mainly what I use for a lot of the creations that I'm gonna make and I have made. So next, what I need to do is let's turn the ribbons red. How about that? So what I can do is, since I selected the top, I go back to edit, as you can see. Then I do the same thing to select the ribbon. Is hold and press Shift, Alt, then right click on the edge. That's edge. This side. These sides. And these sides. See? And there we go. We selected the ribbon. Alright. So what we need to do is, since as a material, we're going to turn to red. So we go scrolling down where it says base colors. And you can select any color you like. So I'm going to select red. And select all of those, right? I didn't like that. So what I do is I press assign because of what's been selected. And it selected those. Okay? So I go and press the, before I do anything else, I press A to deselect. Alright. And I press Tab to go to object mode. Go back down here. And then do the same thing. Go to edit. Select the stuff again. Shift Alt. And right click. Same thing here. The same right here. There we go. Now we have that. Now we use the play. Sign. So all these things have been selected and signed. And this right here. There we go. Alright. Now for the other stuff, you press A to deselect. And for this, I'll show you something that's really cool. So for the bottom part, I create another material. So you press this tab. This plus, press versus new. And let's turn it white. So you can keep it as default, or you can go right to principle. Leave it as it is. Alright. So what I do is I press the circle and I select this side, circle to select. See, it's much easier. Do the same thing here. The same thing is there. Oops. Didn't mean to select that. You can just press the middle button and deselect those stuff, even smaller stuff. But there we go. There we go. So you can see everything is selected. And all I need to do is press assign, and voila. Look at that. Nice and clean. Do the same thing for the top. So once again, press A to select, tab, object, lid, click on, go tab, edit. The same thing, just press C. You have to see the stuff that you're trying to select. Instead of holding shift, I use this all the time, makes it faster. You can see that. Nice, huh? So what I do is, and to make it easy to go back to this color instead of, you see it says you have to add another one. What I do is, I click on the plus sign, right? Then I go next to where it says new, click down here, and it shows you another material, so where you can select. So I select the white part, and press assign. There we go, look at that. Nice and clean. Nice. Now, what I need to do is simply press A to select. Now, you gotta make the ribbon part. And there's so many ways how you can make it. There's a complicated way and there's the easy way. The part for the easy way is what I normally do is I make it as a circle. Yes, weird, but this is what I do. So what I do is I press and hold Shift and A, and it brings up all the meshes. And there's a lot of stuff you can be able to use. A lot of these is really incredible. See the stairs, or all the stuff you make for houses. Awesome, just the same. If you want to do a simple one, you can use that. But for right now, I'm going to use a circle. And the circle's below there. And what I can do is I go on this side before I click on it. There's a part here that says fill type. And there's a part that says nothing, which is you can make as a ring. You can be able to make it as a triangle fan, so like a pizza. As you can see, it looks like a pizza. And this one, the in John, if I pronounce it right, it solidifies and creates it this way. So it fills in. So what I do is bring it up here, as you can see. Then I rotate it on the Y, so you press R to rotate, then click on Y, and then rotate it halfway 90 degrees. There we go. Nice, huh? So I press the arrow for the Y, and then put it over here. There we go. Alright. Next. Now that I have this, even though I'm doing it wrong, which is to get out and do the opposite, but this way it'll stick together, so less work. So I press S, scale it down. As you can see, I'm doing one side, and you'll be thinking I have to do the other side, but I'll show you something. Alright, got that. Press tab for that. Then I press E to extrude. And still hold for extrude and stuff. Look at that. See that? Make it a drum. But you see what happens when I do that? See, it doesn't look right. So you do that. Okay? Then I go. Alright. Then next, go down here. Select this so you can be able, next to the faces, to select everything else. So if you want to see how much easier, remember, just press Shift Alt this and it covers that. And look what I mean. When you look inside, it doesn't select anything else. Nice and clean. Alright, good. Then press Shift, select that, or press C and select those. There we go. Then I can go to lift it up. A lot of times I have to redo everything. I had to learn the hard way, but that's one of the easiest ways that I got to learn. So what I do is I have to shrink this. So I press S, press Z, shrink it. Alright, good. Then we rotate this on the X. Is press R, X, and you make one side. Good. And you put it down there, put it on the side like that. There we go. Nicely done, huh? So now that we have that, and I'll press A to deselect, click on these, and there we go. See, we select those things. Simple effect, right? Now I can press X and click on faces to take those away. Then I click on the edge, which is down here, and select the edges right here. Once again, and this edge is right there. Like I said again, it's all done by Shift and Alt, as you can see, and you'll be able to bend it down a little bit, and then once again, extrude it by pressing E. Go to E, press S, and look at that. Look at that. Nice, huh? Now, here's something that I got to learn that's really cool. You see, you have to select these, and then when I press F, it fills it. Sometimes it doesn't make it very well, so if I press F, sometimes it does it, but I don't want it to look like that. Look at that. I don't want to look like that. Control Z. Here's something that I got to learn. It's a little secret, but everybody got to learn it from the Blender community, so here we go. Press the space bar, it brings you up to search. Click on the space bar to search, and type here bridge. And you don't have to type it all the way, but if you go down here where it says bridge edge loop, click on that. Look at that. Look at that. It fills all the edges. Look at that. Nice, huh? And if you see the inside of it, look at that. It fills in there. Nice, huh? Nice. Click right there. Like that. Now go select Control Z is your friend. Remember that, everybody. I go back down, click on faces, click on that side, the same thing with this, same thing with that. There we go. And then what I can do is shrink it by pressing S and moving the mouse in and out. See that? Move it up like that. Then lift it up. Z, or press GZ if it's easier for you. And there we go. Now, you may think, okay, you got that. I understand that. Now what are you gonna do? Well, there's two options to make for the other side. I can be able to duplicate it by pressing Shift and D, and then right click on it, and then press R and Z axis. And then turning 180 is to actually press. Wait a minute. Instead of doing what I'm about to do was to duplicate it and spin it around, I want to just mirror the ribbon. I already stretched it out, and all I need to do is just select the ribbon, you see, by pressing the Shift and Alt on the side, and I click on the inside, it says Modify, click on Mirror, then what I do is take away from the X, go to the Y axis, and there you go. And all you have to do is go to down here, edit to object mode, and then click apply, and there you go. Now you have to save this by going to File, then click on Save As, and I label mine as gift.blend. They'll add blend later, but you can type in gift or whatever. Click on Save Blend File, and once it's done right there, see, it's already done. Right now, I'm going to the Eevee. Alright, now I'm on Eevee or Blender 2.8, and this is what they're upcoming. This is on the second alpha. So I'm gonna bring in what we did on the last part on Blender 2.79, and I'm gonna transfer it here. So what I do is click on File, click on Open, then I click on the blend that I title as Gift, press Open, and look at that. It's really nice. It's using the world lighting, which you go right here, shading, and you see this little picture. It's reflecting from that. And once you click on that, there's a lot of lightings you can select, like the one right here at the beach, the one right here at nighttime, the one right here like on the field. It looks so very nice. So what I can do is I go on this side, click on this little camera render, and you see it's set on cycle like I did the other part. Now I want to switch to Eevee. Just click on that, click on Eevee, and for right now, don't let nothing change. Alright, now watch this. This is still in the same spot. It's set on material mode. Watch what happens when I click on render. Nothing shows up, right? Nothing. Well, because there's no lighting. So I go back here, and I select either the scene light, or click on the world scene. Click on both if you want to, but now you can click on the scene light. Then I go back, click render, still the same thing. But here is something that's really cool. Go back to the materials. Now I click on the part, look like world. It's right next to render and the workshop. Let's see, this is the scene, the world. Click on use nodes right here. Alright, now, and it'll show off the lighting. There we go. Alright, let's see if I go back to render. Look at that. Nice and bright. Isn't this amazing? Now, I can be able to take a picture of this as it looks like. So, okay. On this part, I presented that I put the camera in front, which you can be able to select on this side. Click on camera, and right here on the render, you can be able to select your resolution and whatever you like. I have mine set right here for Eevee, which is 2.8. Now, I want to take a nice picture of this, but first, let me select this light and move it away. So I right click on it, press G, move it away. There we go. Now I'm going to focus on this. So what I can do is go on this side, scroll, and let's see, click on film, and I don't want this thing right here in the background. I want it to be translucent, so I do the alpha, so sky, click transparent, and I'll clear all these things up once you render. Good. Then some cool stuff. Let's see. Okay. Now, next, I go to color management. All right. Then right here where it says view, transform, turn it to cinematic. There we go. So nice and dim and all that. Then you can see, and right here, specular, log. Let's see for the partial look. We do a high contrast, and that's very nice. See, that's very nice. And then this is what you can do. Once you're done and you like how the way it looks, go up here. There's a side where it says File, Edit. Go to the part where it says Render. Then you can click right here to Render Image. You can click on that, and it'll pull up a picture once it's done rendering. Now, at this moment in time, it'll for this being an alpha, it may take a while, but don't fret. It's just taking its time. But usually, it takes 1 second to just take a quick pic. So, I'll be back when you get to see the rest of it. Alright, once it's done rendering, you get your results like this. Nice, huh? Now, you can present this to anybody. As I said before, it's a gift. But something seems off with this. Oh yeah, forgot to save. So, in order to save, you can go right here as this image. Once it's done rendering, just go to Save As. And from here, you can save, since it's going to be a PNG, just a regular picture. Save it as a gift. There you go. Press enter, save as images, and there you go. Once you're done. Now, let's view the picture. Alright, and that's it. Now that you already saved it, everything will work nice and perfectly, so you can be able to send this gift to anybody. But it's time to leave. Wait a minute. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that awesome? Let's see. It's a little Android guy. Hey, how about that? Next episode, we'll make the Android. Until next time, come by, let's talk. I'm Blender Chat. I've been your host, Miracle X, aka Miracle Xavier. As always, stay awesome.
I see